Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. This is our group assignment for Introductory Statistic. And first of all, I will introduce my group members, which is I, Nur Iqbal binti Muhammad, Nur Azira binti Matnawi, Nur Nailihana binti Arsyad, and last, Nur Fazana Aina binti Muhammad Faizal. Okay. Our title for this assignment is Favorite Online Games of University Pendidikan Sultan Idris Students. Okay, for population and sample of the study. The population for this study consists of students from 3 faculties at Sultan Idris Education University, which is Faculty of Science and Mathematics, Faculty of Human Science, and last Faculty of Sports Science and Coaching. The sample for this study consists of responses from 40 students surveyed across the faculty that I had mentioned. Okay, our objective for this assignment is first, to determine whether there is a statistically significant difference in the 2 mean time spent playing online games between male and female. And second, to determine whether there is a significant relationship between gender and the purpose of playing online games. And third, to determine whether there is a statistically significant difference in the average cost of playing online games, PUBG, Mobile Legends, and Genshin Impact. Okay, next for instrument. For the study, we use Google Form to collect the primary data, and this is the structure for the instrument, which is first gender, and faculty, favorite online games, next time spent on playing online games, and cost, and last the purpose of playing online games. Okay, next for data analysis.
We perform a hypothesis test on the means of 2 populations to determine whether there is a statistically significant difference in the average time spent playing online games between male and female. In our analysis, we apply a hypothesis test for the difference between 2 population means suitable for small and independent sample with unequal standard deviation. To start, we calculate the mean and standard deviation for male and female. Okay, so let's dive into the solution. Step 1. State the null and alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis suggests that there is no difference in the mean time spent playing online games between male and female. Meanwhile, the alternative hypothesis states that there is a difference. Step 2. Choose the appropriate distribution. Since the standard deviation of the 2 populations are unequal and the samples are small and independent, we use the t-distribution for our hypothesis test. Okay, next, if we look at this slide, there is a t-formula. Okay, so we substitute the given values into the test statistic formula. So after calculation, we found that t equal to 0.8905. Step 3. Identify the rejection and non-rejection region with a significant level of 0.05. First, we calculate the degree of freedom using the formula for unequal variance. So, as we look at this slide, there is a formula. This is the formula of degree of freedom. So, with plugging in the value, we get degree of freedom is 37. Referring to the t-distribution table for a 2-tailed test at a 5% significant level and 37 degree of freedom, the critical value is determined to be 2.026. Okay, so this means the rejection regions lie beyond negative 2.026 and 2.026, while the non-rejection regions falls within this range. Step 4. Compare the test statistic. The calculated test statistic is t equal to 0.8905. Since 0.8905 fall within the non-rejection regions, negative 2.026 and 2.026, we failed to reject the null hypothesis. Step 5. Make a decision. The result shows that the test statistic does not exceed the critical value. Therefore, we failed to reject H null. Conclusion. At the 5% significant level, we conclude that there is no statistically significant difference in the average time spent playing online game between male and female.
Next is to determine whether there is a significant relationship between gender and the purpose of playing online games. Data was collected from UPSI students regarding their gender and the purpose of playing online games. To perform the test of independence, we follow 5 steps. The first step is to state the null and alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis is that gender and the purpose of playing online games are not related. In contrast, the alternative hypothesis suggests that gender and the purpose of playing online games are related. In the second step, we select the distribution to use for the test. Since we are performing a test of independence, we use the chi-square distribution. The third step involves determining the rejection and non-rejection regions. First, we calculate the degrees of freedom using the formula. Degree of freedom equals to number of row minus 1 multiplied with number of column minus 1. In this case, the degrees of freedom is 2. We then refer to the chi-square distribution table and find that the critical value for 2 degrees of freedom is 5.991. The value is shown like this. In the first step, we calculate the value of the test statistic. The expected value E for each cell is calculated using the formula. E equals to row total multiplied with column total divided by sample size. We compute the expected value for each cell, including for meal and stress relief, meal and competitive play, meal and entertainment, and similarly for female in each category. Once we have the expected values, we use the formula x squared equals to summation of O minus E squared divided by E to calculate the test statistic, where O is the observed value and E is the expected value. After performing the calculation, we find that the test statistic is 0.5714. Finally, in the fifth step, we make the decision. The value of the test statistic x squared equals to 0.5714 is less than the critical value of x squared equals to 5.991, meaning it falls in the non-rejection region. Therefore, we fail to reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is strong evidence from the sample to suggest that gender and the purpose of playing online games are not related.
For the third objective is to determine whether there is a statistically significant difference in the average cost of playing online games such as PUBG, Mobile Legends, and Genshin Impact. So, this objective is using the one-way ANOVA. And this is the data that we get. We need to state that T1, you calculate with total of this data. So for the n, how many the data in each column? So, for the manual calculation, we need to calculate the sum of x, we need to total up all the T1, T2, and T3, and for n, we need to total up n1 and n2 and n3, and we need to calculate the sum of x squared, and we calculate the SSB. The formula of the SSB is this, different in SSW. The big bracket here that I told you is on the back, so the front is sum of x squared. So for SST, sum the SSB and SSW, and we got this. For MSW, we are using the formula SSB over K minus 1. The formula for MSW is SSW over N minus K, okay? And then we calculate the test statistic. The formula for F is MSB over MSW. So first here, we need to, step 1, you need to state the H null and H alternatives. So for step 2, we need to choose which distribution we need to use. So for this test, we use ANOVA. We use F distribution here on step 2. Step 3, we state the significant level that we use. For ANOVA test, we have 2 degrees of freedom, which is for numerator and for denominator. So for the step 4, just stated here. Okay, and for step 5, we can say that the value of the test statistic F is, which is this, that is less than critical value of F that we get from the F distribution table. So it falls on the non-rejection region. So for the software calculation, it's not the same the manual calculation, but it's different on the step 4, because on the step 4 we need to include this from the software that we use. So this is what I got, and it's the same as what I calculate in manual calculation. We can conclude here that the result from manual calculation and Excel calculation both same, but have the different little difference in the average cost of playing online games. So that's all from me.
Okay, last for conclusions. Okay, for first test, which is hypothesis test over the mean of two population, the conclusion is males and females spend a similar amount of time playing online games on average. Second, the gender does not appear to be a significant factor in determining how much time is spent gaming, and this insight could indicate that online gaming is a shared activity enjoyed equally by both genders, and potentially driven by the universal idea of gaming as a form of entertainment or relaxations. Okay, next for second test, which is test of independence. Gender does not play a significant role in determining why people play online games. For example, both males and females may have a similar motivation for playing online games, such as entertainment, social interaction, relaxation, or competition. This finding indicates that gaming behavior, in terms of its purpose, is likely influenced by factors other than gender, such as personal interest, gaming trends, or social environment. Okay. For third test, which is one-way ANOVA test, the conclusion is the analysis showed that the average spending of players on PUBG, Mobile Legends, and Genshin Impact is statistically the same. This suggests that, on average, players invest a comparable amount in these games, whether it's for game purchases, upgrades, or other costs. For game developers and marketers might find this useful because as it indicates that this game attract players willing to spend similar amounts. And for players, it means choosing between this game is less about cost difference and more about personal preference, gameplay styles, or the social communities within the games.